Hi, this is Paul Terjeson, Oregon Farm and Home Brokers, Keller Williams, Mid-Willamette. And today we are out at a 110-acre duck hunting club in Scappoose, 28 minutes from downtown Portland. We're here with the owner, Bill, who's owned this piece for a long time. And it has been a duck club since 1910. And Bill can get into the history of this thing, but it is a sheet lake. It's behind the dike. It's very consistent. Right now we're in the middle of the summer. It's the hottest day of the year. And there's still water in here. But when it comes time to start to hunt, the water rises. They have a pump system behind the dike here, so it's always consistent. You know what it's going to be every single year. But it also gets down low enough where you can work the ground. And as you can see, there's a lot of duckweed around here, a lot of great forage. They've done a great job with getting some good plantings in here. So, Bill, how did you end up here? What happened?
It's like, it was very serendipitous when a real good buddy of mine, his guy name is John Hershey, he still is my attorney, and he said, Meyer, you like duck hunting? I go, yes. We were renting this little place out. It's called Round Lake, and I thought we need another person, so why don't you come along? I said, great, sounds good. So back then we were renting the place when we first started for $1,000 a year for 8 of us. Wow. So that was what we were actually, I mean, I think about that now, it's like, no, it's ridiculous.
You can't do anything for $1,000.
Yeah, so anyway, the people had these were elder gentlemen, you know, that were in their 70s and early 80s, and they were like trying to step out, because nothing was happening here. If you look at this place, it's just gorgeous, you know, I mean, everything's been well kept. But at the time when I first came in here, it was tussock grass. It was just completely covered in tussock. And so it was a big sheetwater lake broken up by tussock grass. They said, well, would you be interested in just buying it? And so we just said, sure, let's get together. So we had a group of us get together, and then it was time to cut a check, and certain people cut the check and certain people didn't. Mm-hmm. So we ended up with 4 people from the new, and then we had 4 owners from the old group that were kids of the family.
And to be clear, you're selling a membership.
It's a membership interest, so it's a LLC, and it's an undivided interest. So you own all of this equally with everybody else.
Yeah. And with the LLC, there's the bylaws, and you have meetings every once in a while.
Right, we usually have meetings once a year. Yeah. When you guys become part of this, they'll have a meeting to welcome you to the group, and it's kind of a fun time. We've done that, I think, every single time. Yeah. It's not that's not a requirement, but it does seem to happen. Everybody wants to get to know you. So yeah, so it's a pretty interesting group of people.
It's membership managed and operated, so a lot of the work that's done out, a lot of the seeding, and as you can see, I mean, this isn't tussock grass behind us. There's a lot of willows, a lot of breaks. You guys have strategically put in a lot of breaks in between the different.
Right, and the whole idea, and the way we planted it, and I was really surprised how it looks when I got back out here, is that we were trying to move the birds in a specific way, keep them and if you notice that this part here behind us here, it's completely open, and it's completely open to the refuge. So the birds come right in here, right over that dike, and they start working this area from here. Geese come in here, same way. They work through here, and then they'll fly around and land right back over here. What's that?
Kind of toilet bowl in.
They toilet bowl in, yeah.
Yeah.
And you see, it's an amazing sight to see 50 or 100 birds just in a big cyclone coming in.
So to be clear, the refuge over there is the Swan Island Refuge, which is a public hunt, and you see there are certain days until you get to, those are hunted until you get to...
Thanksgiving is the big day.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody really worries too much about, after that, they don't say anything. It's just basically you go out if you want to go out.
Yeah.
The early shoots are harder. Yeah. Meaning is that you have a lot of local birds that are really stupid. Yeah. And so us old farts, you know, we like to come out early in the season because and actually shoot something. Yeah. Because there's a few that are in their 90s.
Oh wow.
So they walk right down here, and there's a blind right off the road. And
Yeah,
guess where
don't
they
go
sit?
far.
They don't go far. So they sit right there. So we want to make sure those guys get birds,
Yeah.
you know. So it's a pretty interesting
So
thing.
when it starts popping over at the refuge, it'll push all of
Birds.
those birds out over here, and then they'll
Right.
start trying to find a place to land.
And this is a great place
Yeah.
because all this stuff gives them cover. This is not necessarily a mallard lake. Early in the season, we get a lot of mallards, but it's a real sheep. So you get a lot of pintails, widgeon, but it just depends, you know. So you see a lot of mallards come in too. So
Yeah. When you come out here, what's you say your typical day? It's just you by yourself, or sometimes it's you with one of the one other member on the other side of the lake?
No, actually, what I generally do is I just come out and I drag somebody with me.
Yeah.
Or so I had a friend of mine for 40 years, a guy named Bill Pollock, doesn't mean anything, but he passed away. But we would come out here on a weekday or whenever, and nobody would say anything. You know, it would be just, you know, we'd be here by ourselves. And the big thing was we tried to do is we would get here and we would plant ourselves just about here or right about a little further up ahead of us. And the idea here is I would get here before anybody else got here. And then Jerry would be out here still messing around with his deeks. And he puts out 200-300
Consistently.
And we were just talking about it, but he does a ton of work out here, so I don't blame him.
Yeah.
And so we sit right here, and when he takes his first shot, I mean, I can't explain this, but the sky literally goes black
Just
with
murders.
birds, and they come right over here. And so the key here is I got to a point where I could load and shoot 6 shots out of I have a Beretta that I use. So I pump those shells in, and I would shoot two more, and one last one.
And you limit out.
And I would limit out, you know, but that was when I would have better eyes and better dexterity or something. And I could shoot better maybe. But it's...
but on a typical day, you're going to limit out.
On a typical day, you'll limit out on that first run.
Yeah.
So...
be out of here, start packing the truck up around...
Yeah, and I think I was talking to you about it before. You know, you don't always limit out, but you do always end up with birds. I cannot think of a day I came out here where I didn't get a bird. You know, I think the hardest part is kind of the January time frame.
Yeah.
You know, before the end of the season. And, you know, you'll be in those days where the pennies are flying high and bluebird days. Yeah. And you're out here just enjoying it.
Yeah.
You know, but if you can't shoot, you ain't gonna hit a high-flying penny.
Right.
So it's and even if you're a good shot, sometimes it's difficult. But I just don't think I can't remember a single time where I didn't bring back birds.
And you said that your niche out here is you've got your favorite places. You kind of know the pattern. You know how things are kind of moving through. You know which birds, what time of year are coming through. But your niche is calling birds. You
My niche is calling birds.
And calling birds.
Hunting here is I think it's very family driven. Jerry brings out his grandchildren. Yeah. You know, people here are now, we're in that same spot which is surprising to me.
When you took it over?
What's that? I was in my 30s.
Yeah, I know. So this is ripe for somebody, you know.
In my 30s.
Yeah, in the 30s.
It's the time to get it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you're it just seemed to me the right thing to do. When it cost us at the time $12,500, which I put on my Visa card. It's true.
That was a long time ago. So a couple of points that we want to cover is the mitigation of risk when you get a 1/8, it's a 1/8 undivided share in this 110 acre lake, is that you know you're going to get birds. You will show up here and you will get birds. Once you learn the system, the way the wind blows, how they're coming in, how to call them, you'll get birds. And it's going to save you money. That's the other thing. You're not going to concentrate on getting big canned hunting trips down to the Delta. I mean, this right here, 28 minutes from downtown Portland. You know, if you're downtown Portland to here, you're here in no time. You get here right when you need to get here. You hunt, bag your limit, and you're out of here by 9, 10, or 11 o'clock in the morning, and you're off. And you can do it during the week. If you feel like it's going to be a good day, you could bag your limit, be off by 9 o'clock. And I'd say the third most important thing is it's not that often where you get a chance to share something like this space. And I know, Bill, you've talked about how important it was that you could bring your friends and family here, and they will never forget the days when they had a duck hunt or a goose hunt on this property. So I want to thank you for sharing with us your experience in the property. Hopefully we can find somebody who loves the property as much as you've loved the property.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thanks
been a
again
pleasure.
so much for coming out here. Appreciate it. If you guys are interested in this property or properties like it, please give us a call or look us up at OregonFarmandHomebrokers.com.